thank you to HUEL for sponsoring this video. More on them in just a bit.
Citizens of the Reject Nation, your eyes did not deceive you. It is the Geek Jacks watching Kingdom of Heaven, the theatrical cut.
What? We're not doing the director's cut?
This is going to be a very interesting journey for you because we look different. We are physically in a different place, and we may or may not refer to this as the director's cut whilst watching it because, dear citizens, this is the first ever Reject pickup. We watched this a while ago thinking it was the director's cut, and then it wasn't. It was the theatrical. We do notice at some point, we don't know when, but we wanted to intro you guys with the awareness it is the theatrical cut, and if you want us to watch the director's cut, we'd like to see it.
My fellow Geek Jack, Coy, and I, we really want to watch the director's cut. And also, too, it was a very, and I'm sure I mentioned it a few times at least, how dear and near this film was to my dad. And he actually wanted me to watch this movie with him a few times after I had reacted to this, and I never got to do that because I said, Coy and I are probably going to at some point hopefully react to the director's cut, and I never got to do that with him, so I wanted to experience it with you guys, but I'd love to at some point do the director's cut.
We leave it in your hands.
Please, guys, request it.
And much like The Abyss, I kind of like that we got to watch, because you can't watch less. Like, you don't want to watch and then like see less of a movie.
Sure, I agree with you.
There's very few movies, in my opinion, that the director's cut isn't improved. Donnie Darko is one of them. I like the regular cut more than the Richard Kelly cut. But if you'd like to watch us watch the extended, please leave a comment below. We hear it is spectacular. Without further ado, let's go to that Kingdom of Heaven.
See, this is why I'm reading. I need to brush up on my history. I need to... Damn, that's a shot right there. I will tell you, the only thing I know about this movie, besides what you said with the cast and the director, I've heard the music because I have Pandora, Danny Elfman radio. The music from this movie has come on.
Danny Elfman?
No.
Oh,
it's Harry Gregson Williams, and I know that because I've heard it on Pandora so many times. The music is beyond epic in this movie. I've just heard the music. Don't.
From the dead.
Clear the road, if you will.
That's not David. Was that David Thewlis?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Got Ares.
Love
Liam
Neeson.
Hey.
I love not knowing who's in this. Immediately regal sensibilities. Those two showing up.
Wait. She was a suicide. Cut off her head.
Cut off her head. Oh.
Is that Michael Sheen?
Yeah.
Or no. Okay. I was like I should be recognizing him. Hey. This is 2005, so this is 1 year after Troy.
Oh, wow.
A movie I love, but a role I was not crazy about him in. But I think that was the point. You're not supposed to like Paris in that movie.
You know this place, my lord.
Know it? I know all of it.
It's funny. First movie I ever saw with David Thewlis was like set in a time period like this, Dragonheart.
Love Dragonheart.
I do too.
Movie's fantastic.
We need all these horses shod. We need food, and we'll pay.
Like there's history.
Yeah.
The blacksmith is the man you seek. His name is Balian, but know that he mourns. The burial we passed at the crossroads was for his wife.
Oof.
She was overcome with grief and killed herself.
Oh, man.
I knew your mother. I did not force her. I loved her. I'm your father.
That's a reveal.
I have forgiveness to ask of you.
Wow.
That was a good observation you made too. Like there's history here.
Yeah.
We've spent about 5 minutes or so with Orlando Bloom. We haven't heard one line, but again, the visual narration's fantastic so far.
Great point.
If you will come with me, you will have a living.
My place is here.
You will never see me again. If you want anything of me, take it now.
Wow.
Some forgiveness.
What a moment.
I want nothing.
I am sorry for your troubles. God protect you.
What a cold man.
That is all the family he has left.
Jerusalem is easy to find. We come to where the men speak Italian and continue until they speak something else. We go by Messina.
Now you know your last name, and if you want to come visit.
I'm your priest, Balian. I tell you, God has abandoned you.
Wow.
No man ever needed a new world more.
Being a
the
friend or
village
does
does
he want him
not
to
want you.
They seem as cursed or...
This is the music I've heard.
If you take the crusade, you may relieve your wife's position in hell.
Oh, we're playing that angle.
She is in hell. Oh, what she does there without a head.
Dude, maybe not best also to say that the guy with the
hot button, and then smile about it.
oh, the cross. Yeah, that's his wife's. That's what we were just saying. Not. Oh, he just reached in and grabbed. Oh my God. Dude,
wow.
What a stunt. What a stunt.
Oh, now it's seared into his hand.
Yeah.
Hot metal. Man, the symbolism there.
He was not even phased. He just reached in.
Broken man.
Yeah.
Wait here.
Dude, I'm so obsessed with the location so far.
Stunning.
You come to kill me. Even these days, it is not easy.
I have done murder. Is it true that in Jerusalem I can erase my sins and those of my wife?
We can find out together.
What a fascinating premise.
Pick it up. Let's see what you're made of.
His hand is hurt, my lord.
I once fought 2 days with an arrow through my testicle.
And still sired, man.
Italians call it la posta di falcone, the guard of the hook. They strike from high. Like this.
That broadsword would be so heavy. That is so much strength.
I was just thinking that. It looks really heavy.
Defend yourself. The blade isn't the only part of a sword.
The training is nothing. The will is everything.
I have your leave.
Jeez, this guy's
It's a
arms.
big boy. Hey, that guy.
What have I seen him in? He looks so familiar. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff.
Man, that impact. You feel it.
You have with you a man, Balian, who killed
Hey.
the priest. I'm charged by the Lord Bishop to bring him back.
Oh, is he from Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones, that dude, yeah.
What he says is true.
I say he's innocent of the charge. If you say he's guilty, then we'll fight.
Whoever dies here today, you will certainly be among them.
Oh.
You're a lord. I must give you the road.
Dude, he just quivers from fear. I love it. Oh, are they surrounded? Oh, no! Oh. Damn!
Oh, no!
Damn. Oh, I thought we were going to have a lot of time with that character.
Legitimately did not see that coming.
Oh, right. Blade's not the only part of the sword.
Incredible
Damn,
mount.
amazing.
The stunts in this are incredible.
See, that's why we need... Ouch! That's why we need that best stunt award.
Yeah. That whole team is getting massacred. Dude, big boy's up.
Through the neck and he's fighting? Good God, he's tough.
What a beast. Oh, I'm so glad they didn't rob us of this bear fighting. My God. Oh, oh, oh.
It's got the brutality from Gladiator. Whoa. That really subverted me. I was like, what?
Thank the bishop for his love!
Woo!
This was so unexpected, all this.
I thought it was going to be their journey to Jerusalem movie. Man, the guilt you'd feel just joining them, but also like the weird relationships that are forming.
It was not that they had no right to take you. It was the way they asked.
They had the right to take me.
So do I.
Aww.
What an interesting character that to slowly like him after that introduction of just like, what? No.
To kill an infidel is not murder. It is the path to heaven.
A lot of that, guys. Ridley Scott has always cast so well.
Would I have fought you when you were still capable of making bastards?
I knew your mother when she was making hers. Fortunately, you're too old to be one of mine.
Oh, that's a comeback.
Oh, Messina was the town. I thought Messina was the last name, like to come by. We go by Messina meant physically. I thought he meant we go by Messina, like you have a last name.
You will serve the King of Jerusalem, a better world than has ever been seen. The kingdom of heaven.
Hey.
When the king is dead, Jerusalem will be no place for friends of Muslims, like your father.
He's always such a sniveling.
I am Guy de Lusignan. And me. Keep it.
He will be king in Jerusalem one day.
Not if he is.
Balian.
Please tell me he's still okay.
No, I think it's just saying goodbye.
Be without fear in the face of your enemies. Speak the truth, always, even if it leads to your death.
That's deep.
And do no wrong. That is your oath. And that's so you remember it.
Does he have to... Is it just a sword?
Arise, the knight. I'm Baron of Ibelin.
Oh.
Oh, no.
It's time now, my lord, to confess to holy God, not your son. Are you sorry for all your sins?
For all but one.
Oh, that was...
This journey can be perilous. If God has purpose for you there, he'll keep you safe in his hands. God bless you.
Some old-timey zingers in here.
Obviously, I'm grateful we got Denis Villeneuve to do the Dune films. Had he never done it and we had Prime Scott...
Prime Scott, 20 years ago, Dune.
I would have been
Technology,
down for that.
but like storytelling, yeah.
That would have been cool too. But of course, I'm so grateful. I love the Denis Villeneuve ones too.
It would have been cool to have a Dune between Lynch and Denis if it was Scott. I agree. I like that idea.
Whoa. Jeez. This music is like a character.
Just around so much death at all times.
Yeah, he's like seeking forgiveness, and like it almost feels like he's almost cursed as well.
Yeah, everyone around him always being...
Damn, yeah, you need that horse badly. Yep, here's Dune. Foreshadowed that into existence. Oh, the horse? No, you are not going anywhere. We're gonna ride the storm together.
He says that is his horse. I took this horse from the sea.
Riders of the storm.
He says you are a great liar, and he will fight you because you are a liar. I have no desire to fight. Then you must give him the horse.
You might as well fight, because you're not gonna live without it.
On the horse? Wow.
Ibelin, that's enough. Ibelin, no!
Oh, the horse.
All over, yeah.
Man.
It's a nice detail that that horse was white. Got the red sprayed all over it.
You have taken it very well that I have killed your master.
It was the end of his time. Now, finish this.
Definitely gonna show him mercy.
Take me to Jerusalem.
You're gonna work for me. Dude, look how many extras they got. It's so many. Almost looks like they're in Minas Tirith.
I am your prisoner, your slave, should you wish it. I have been a slave. I will never keep one nor suffer any to be kept.
God, such a layered character.
The man you killed was a very great cavalier among the Muslims. His name was Muhammad al-Fais. I will pray for him. Your quality will be known among your enemies. Go. What is it you want of me?
Man's search for meaning is always so interesting, and then adding it to what the feel of this movie about a pilgrimage.
How can you be in hell when you're in my heart?
Interesting to see the growth of the character and then like letting things go from his past, like moving on from the losses.
You must have known him.
What?
Since you carry Gottfried's sword, you must have known him.
It's my father.
I did.
A man my size.
Yes.
And green eyes.
Blue.
Come with us, my lord.
Ha! Cool.
Good way to confirm.
Stop! You're hurting me.
He's the horse whisperer. Oh, right, because he was a blacksmith. He's dealt with horses so much.
Interlove interest?
Where's your master?
I have no.
Oh, Eva Green, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for the drink.
The makeup's incredible, and the sun beating down on him. And
If you happen to see Balian, the son of Godfrey, tell him that Sibylla called.
She is stunning.
Where Christ died, I am outside God's grace.
I have not heard that.
At any rate, it seems I have lost my religion.
I put no stock in religion. By the word religion, I've seen the lunacy of fanatics of every denomination be called the will of God. Holiness is in right action. What God desires is here, and what you decide to do every day, you will be a good man, or not.
Thulis, man.
The king has made a peace with Saladin these past 6 years. He holds Jerusalem as a place for prayer for all faiths. These men are Templars. They killed Arabs.
So they are dying for what the Pope would command them to do.
Yes, but not Christ, I think, nor this king.
Really interesting.
That's so visceral.
Looking at all the morality of it, and from all the angles and perspectives, and even the infidels are the path to God.
Oh, Brendan Gleeson. I had no, and Jeremy Irons. I had no idea. Dude, the cast in this is amazing.
That witness, he lies. There will come a day when you are not protected by your title. When will that be? That be Tiberius, when men are equal and the kingdom of heaven has arrived. Tiberius. Those Templars have been hung for a raid that I know you commanded. Prove it. King will take your castle of Carrack Bernard. Try to take it, Tiberius. I'll be there.
One scene, and he's so like impertinent. He's so sassy.
My lord. It's true. You're your father's son. He was my friend. I'm yours. It was shouted in the streets that you killed the great lord of Syria. Saladin himself sent word that your fight did not breach the peace that you had called. What know you, Saladin?
That he is king of the Saracens, and that he surrounds this kingdom.
He has 200,000 men in Damascus alone.
Jeez.
But Saladin and the king between them would make a better world.
If it lives only for a while, Tiberius, it still has lived.
What did your father tell you of your obligations?
That I was to be a good knight.
I pray the world and Jerusalem can accommodate such a rarity as a perfect knight. Have you dined?
The Princess Sibylla of Jerusalem and her husband, Guy de Lusignan.
Interesting.
Oh. That's the guy who's like the sniveling guy,
Yeah.
right? Oh, God. It's going to be an interesting triangle.
So, how many knights did you find in France?
50.
They've sworn allegiance to the king.
Of course, Tiberius.
You sit at my table.
I am finicky about company.
In France, this could not inherit. But here, there are no civilized rules. My wife does not lament at my absence.
She looks really comfortable around her husband.
Do you go to meet Renard?
No, my lord, he is in disfavor. I am a member of this court. Why should I make league with that troublemaker?
A nice guy, really, when you get used to him.
Yeah, he settles in.
The king would see Godfrey's son.
I'll take him.
Oh.
A woman in my place has two faces. One for the world, and one which she wears in private. With you, I'll be only Sibylla. Tiberius thinks me unpredictable. I am unpredictable.
I'm so curious how many lines of dialogue Orlando Bloom has had so far. It's not
Like
very
Terminator 2 level.
Come forward. I am glad to meet Godfrey's son.
Right, let's see what
Is that Ed Norton?
No way.
The Saracens say this disease is God's vengeance against the vanity of our kingdom. These Arabs believe that the chastisement that awaits me in hell is far more severe and lasting.
I think it is. I can't quite place it, but it
Yeah, I could see it
it
being.
resonates like Ed Norton. But he's good at the accent clipping his ends of consonants.
You see, none of us choose our end, really. Your soul is in your keeping alone. When you stand before God, you cannot say, but I was told by others to do thus. Or that virtue was not convenient at the time. This will not suffice. Protect the helpless, and then perhaps one day When I am helpless, you will come and protect me.
Damn, I don't know who that was.
Yeah, I'm really curious if I'm right, because it's almost, the dialogue in this is insane. There's so many scenes of just aggressive poignancy, and then you move on to another epic shot, and then you've got more, and like, it's so wise while feeling very lived in.
Yeah, it doesn't feel preachy, and it has really strong points.
Your father was important. His lands were not.
It will suit me.
My lord, you have 1,000 acres, 100 families. You have 50 pairs of oxen.
What we do not have is water.
Pretty important thing to have. This is nice. He's finding a purpose again. Awesome to see all these groups of people working together.
Yeah.
For one common goal.
That's the kingdom of heaven, like the idea of actual equality, holiness versus religion. I love that speech.
Whoa, sweet. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Build a well. Yeah.
Whoa, cool. That's not Eva Green, is it? I can't tell.
I'm on my way to Cana,
Oh, it is.
where Jesus changed water to wine. But a better trick would be to change you to a nobleman.
In France, a few yards of silk can make a nobleman.
I expect your hospitality.
It is given. Latif.
Curious if her husband knows she's there.
Yeah.
And does he approve of her being there with him? Oh boy. I get it. It's Orlando Bloom. Understandable.
He's a very pretty man.
What?
It seems years since I've seen a woman eat.
Aw.
I was watching you today. You've been given a patch of dirt, and it seems you will build a new Jerusalem here.
It is my land. Who would I be if I did not try to make it better?
And speaking of her husband, I'm curious if he's going to mess with his land there.
Yeah, I assume that conflict is going to be the big third act, but how it'll actually start, I assume, when the king dies.
One morality. Their prophet says submit. Jesus says decide.
Did you decide on Guy?
He was chosen by my mother.
Mm.
I was 15 at the time.
Incredible.
Wadib. See, it's I told you. Could have done Dune.
Why do you think I'm here?
To watch me write.
I know that Ibelin is not on the way to Cana. I know that you are a princess, and I am no lord.
Or knight.
Neither earned nor proved.
I'm not here with you because I'm bored or wicked.
Like trapped in a marriage.
Because in the East, between one person and another, there is only light.
Oh, damn.
I don't think I've ever heard this drum used for this purpose, but it works.
It's always me. They'll believe it in Jerusalem, I assure you. You're at Nazareth praying.
You're a dangerous man, Renard.
If the war's to be now or later, I would have it now. How long can the leper last?
Whoa. Are they actually armed?
I don't think it matters. The Holy War just murdering people.
Reynald, with the Templars, have broken the king's pledge of peace.
Saladin will come into this kingdom. Tiberius knows more than a Christian should about Saladin's intentions.
Wow. So trying to manipulate the situation.
Yeah.
That I would rather live with men than kill them is certainly why you are alive.
Christianity has its uses, I suppose.
We must not go to war with Saladin.
Yeah, what did they say? He has 200,000. I forgot how many they said.
An army of Jesus Christ which bears his holy cross cannot be beaten.
As the Count of Tiberius suggests that it could be.
There must be war. God wills it.
That's awful. Jeremy Irons speaks. You don't say anything.
Incredible voice.
Saladin has crossed the Jordan with 200,000 men.
I could so hear Norton too.
We must meet him before he reaches Kerak. I will lead the army.
My lord, if you travel, you'll die.
Whoa.
What becomes of us?
The world will decide.
Hmm.
The world always decides.
Oh my! I thought she was about to. I was like in front of everyone.
Oh.
Oh, one of the survivors. Damn, you can see the blood.
On
It
the
looks like on
horse,
the
yeah.
horse. Yeah.
My lord, the king is marching on Kerak.
It kind of does look a little like Minas Tirith.
Saracen cavalry, they're coming to close Reynald in. These people are not safe outside the walls. Saladin will certainly come behind him.
Wow.
Man, what are you to do?
Go into the fortress now.
I wonder how his reputation's gonna help them.
It's really incredible the stark contrast between the Templars using religion as a means for violence, and he's using it as like for forgiveness and trying to have a better world.
Holiness versus religion.
My lord Reynald prays you bring your force into Kerak.
Thank you, but no. If we do, these people will die.
We'll hold the Saracen cavalry until the king arrives.
Wow.
He's such an easy character to root for, though.
What do you look at?
A knight, his men.
Whoa.
Look at that image.
I like that far
Protecting
wide shot,
behind
too.
the small and then full horizon.
Whoa. Dude, it does have that epic Lord of the Rings vibe to it in terms of like an action sequence.
Scope.
Yeah, and
Feel.
scope, too.
This is not what I thought. Like, the opening of this movie to this point, it's incredible, the scope of what they've brought us through.
Dude, to have the frame right behind the horse like that.
Oh, wow. Wow. Felt that. That was incredible. Man. The strength of all these men. Like the weight of that armor and those swords and brawling in this heat. Like.
Aren't they going to know who he is from that scene earlier?
Yeah, I'm assuming the sword and then.
Is that the guy who he let live?
Your quality will be known among your enemies.
Yep.
Before ever you meet them, my friend.
Beautiful.
You were not that man's servant.
No, he was my servant.
One good deed shall follow another.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love that twist.
That was what I was not. Yeah.
You reap what you sow. You have heard of this. No? Get up.
That's a great twist for sure.
You may go into Kerak, but you will die there. My master is here.
Wow.
Back before they used CGI to add that many people in.
Well, they probably cloned up. Like, there's probably like, but the feel of it.
I agree
they're
with you, but
alive
yeah,
people
exactly. That's
that
why
they've multiplied.
Agreed. It still feels real.
Wow, look at that.
This would have been wild to see in theaters.
Yeah.
Although I know that I've heard the director's cut is so much better than the theatrical.
Ridley Scott, man.
But still.
I pray you pull back your cavalry and leave this matter to me.
I pray you retire unharmed to Damascus. I swear it. Withdraw, we will all die here.
Ooh. Like that the king's aware and knows what's going on, though.
Well, but it's also the other guy. He's the sniveling dude isn't being punished. They're making Brendan Gleeson the scapegoat. You got to take out other guy too.
Do we have terms?
We have terms.
Oh, he's not well.
No, I mean he's a literal leper.
I will send you my physicians.
Salaam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
But yeah, you're right. He only thinks it's Brandon Gleeson. He doesn't know about the other sniveling guy or his involvement in it. Yeah. Oh, he is like. Looks like he's just crumbling right now.
Yeah, they're doing such a great job with body language.
On your knees.
So well cast.
Am Jerusalem, and you, Reynald.
Oof.
Give me the kiss of peace.
Ooh. Ooh. So you remember it.
Man.
Dude, we are in for dark times when one of these two becomes king.
If you continue like this, I shall have to find a use for you. If God can spare you, that is.
God does not know me.
That's what I do.
I be not.
Every line of dialogue says so much, and it's so impressive.
Do you think the sniveling guy is going to become the king?
I think it'll be between the two of them. I just don't know why Brendan Gleeson would be willing to take that fall, knowing it would fall to him, saying they're always going to blame me, like it's the inevitable. Like, is it just a bloodthirst? Like he's willing? Because that was the inevitability.
Why did we retire? Why? God did not favor him. God alone determines the results of battles.
The results of battles are determined by God,
Yeah.
but also by preparation, numbers, the absence of disease, and the availability of water. One cannot maintain a siege with the enemy behind. How many battles did God win for the Muslims before I came? That is, before God determined that I should come.
Few enough. That's because we were sinful.
It is because you were unprepared.
If you think that way, you shall not be king for long.
Damn.
When I'm not king, I quake for Islam. Thank you for your visit.
You promised to return Jerusalem. Don't forget.
Well, they have agreed terms right now, but if the sniveling guy becomes king,
Yeah, then it all goes up.
You'd love to hate him.
Well, he's already so bigoted and already like hates them so much there would be no peace whatsoever, which I don't know much about this era, but it obviously doesn't go well long term. The Crusades weren't a positive.
I just ordered another batch of HUEL ready to drink for the office because every time I stock the fridge, somehow they disappear. So apparently I run a YouTube channel and a HUEL distribution center. And that's kind of the point. I've been drinking HUEL weekly for almost 2 years now before my 2025 cut, throughout the entire 8-month cut, and I still use it now. Sponsored or not, I use them. I hear HUEL ads on plenty of other podcasts, but I don't know how many of those people are buying it for their coworkers when the cameras are off. This guy does. So, what separates HUEL for me from a lot of other drinks or powders is that I'm not treating it like something I have to add on to a meal. Like Black Edition is the meal. It has 40 grams of protein, mixes with water or milk in about 30 seconds, and it's a complete meal you have instead of food, not a shake on top of food. With 27 essential vitamins and minerals and no artificial sweeteners, colors, or flavors. But a lot of the time, the servings are 2 scoops. So sometimes I'll mix 1 scoop banana flavor, my favorite, with a high protein yogurt. Delicious. And the RTD, the ready to drink, is the grab and go version. 35 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber, under $5 a meal. No prep, you just grab it and go. It's strawberry banana is the missus's favorite. Chocolate peanut butter is the star at the office. And they have a new flavor here, mixed berry. New customers get 15% off online with code REJECTS at HUEL.com/rejects. New customers only. Thank you, HUEL, for partnering, supporting our show, and for supporting my lifestyle.
The time has come to conclude my affairs. We have decided that you shall take command of the army of Jerusalem. If I leave the army with Guy, he will take power through my sister and make war on the Muslims.
Oh, Guy is the sniveling guy.
Whatever you ask, I will serve.
No, hear it all before you answer. Would you marry my sister Sibylla were she free of Guy de Lusignan?
Ooh.
And Guy, he will be executed, along with his knights who do not sway your allegiance.
Okay, so they did know this, just playing in it.
I cannot be the cause of that.
Whatever you ask, I will serve.
A king may move a man, you said, but the soul belongs to the man.
Has a gladiator feel to it a little?
Yes, I did.
You have my love and my answer.
So be it.
Why do you protect him? He's a man who insults you, hates you,
Kill you himself if he had the chance. But for the salvation of this king, would it be so hard to marry Sibylla?
Yeah, but he can't take a man's life like that.
Jerusalem has no need of a perfect knight.
No, it is a kingdom of conscience or nothing.
Yeah. Hey, respect, dude. Might not be the wisest decision, but respect. I like the conviction.
I am what I am. I offer you that. And the world. You say no.
Do you think I'm like Guy, that I would sell my soul?
There'll be a day when you will wish you had done a little evil to do a greater good.
That's what we were literally
That's
just talking about.
Like, that's the issue. Because millions will die.
That's, yeah.
I mean, maybe not millions then, but hundreds of thousands.
I was back in that summer when I defeated Saladin. Do you remember it? I was only 16.
A beautiful boy. You've always been beautiful. In every way.
My beautiful sister. So beautiful. I'm sorry I've caused you. Remember me as I was.
I will.
Sibylla.
If I have your knights, you have your wife.
Wow. Dude. I really hope Harry Gregson Williams was at least nominated for best score. Oh, who is it?
Wow.
Incredible makeup.
I, Sibylla, by the grace of the Holy Spirit, choose as king Guy de Lusignan. With the help of God, he will rule his people well.
We did get that foreshadowing earlier when he said he'll be king.
Yeah, the little bit of evil for the greater good is what I'm struggling with. Because right now we're at the narratively things get worse, but like it just,
Dude, oh. This score is really sounding like Rav Rivel's The Crow.
Mm.
Ooh.
Woo!
Yeah, only self-defense is when he can do it.
Woo!
Leave us. Oh, what's he gonna do?
What's this mad Brendan Gleeson?
I just love how he's chewing up the scenery every scene.
Have the Templars killed Balian?
Yes. Then give me a war. That is what I do.
Oh.
Yeah, but I am. Someone has to be.
Oh, good. Wow. How did they do? Was that like a hidden cut, do you think?
I think so, yeah.
It had to be. How else could you achieve that?
Saladin
No! Ah!
Saladin Ahi.
I know.
Think they took her prisoner?
Speak.
The Sultan demands the return of his sister's body,
Oh. Never mind.
the heads of those responsible, and the surrender of Jerusalem. What answer do you return to Saladin?
I mean, we are beyond diplomacy.
Yeah.
Now we are into aggressive negotiations.
Yeah, he's waiting for.
This.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he'll bring his head back.
Take the head to Damascus.
Dude, that was brutal.
Now this assembly of barons and all Jerusalem is complete. There are those among you who may disagree with our succession, but it is war.
Oh, he's like so relieved he's there.
The king.
Ha ha! Great.
We
face
march at
delivery.
once. What say this council?
Sounding so confident then when he saw him.
See the real king.
Yeah.
If you must have war, this army cannot move away from water. You have a chance to hold the city. But if you move out against Saladin, this army will be destroyed, and the city left defenseless.
When I wish a blacksmith to advise me in war, I will tell him.
Saladin wants you to come out. He is waiting for you to make that mistake. He knows his man.
We should meet the enemies of God.
Oh.
So we shall.
Then you do so without my knight. Then I will have the glory, Tiberius. You had yours years and years ago. It's time for mine.
So much vengeful spite and hate towards him.
Tiberius, when Saladin has finished with Guy, he will come. We must look to the defenses.
The king's dead, and Jerusalem along with him.
Yeah, what are you gonna do after?
Yeah, that's it. And it's because of you, bro.
You go with the army.
My order is with the army.
You go to certain death.
All death is certain. I shall tell your father what I've seen you become.
Wow. Thulis with the quotables.
When Saladin comes, we're not defensible. Save the people from what I've done.
I will.
I'm like on edge. I'm so anxious to see where this all goes.
Yeah, I don't know the history or how much this is accurate to it, but.
Can you sense it?
There has been no messenger.
The calm before the storm.
Oof. They're out of water. They've got a slushy machine. Killing it.
I drink water for what it is.
I did not give the cup to you.
No, no.
Is this the end of Brandon Gleeson?
Yeah.
Sorry, Brendan Gleeson. Hey, no!
overdue.
Yeah. As much as we love the actor. Character, not so much.
A king does not kill a king. Were you not close enough to a great king to learn by his example?
Love that he respects the previous king so much.
I've lived in Jerusalem my whole life, everything. First I thought we were fighting for God, then I realized we were fighting for wealth and land. I was ashamed.
Oh, is that Brandon Gleeson?
His head, yeah.
Oh!
There is no more Jerusalem. I shall go to Cyprus. Will you come with me?
No.
You are your father's son. Saladin must move his army from water to water. That gives him 4 days, maybe 5.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
I'll be with you. He's no longer with me.
Oh no, not David Thulis. Oh man. He's just following orders. That sucks.
Mark 400.
400! 400!
Interesting.
They're here.
It is only one man.
No, they're here.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh.
That's it.
This is the only section of the wall that they can attack. Once they begin to bombard the walls, they will stop only to avoid hitting their own siege towers as they come in.
Man.
We take the bombardment. When they cease firing, we fire.
I guess he's technically the king now?
I don't know where Sniveling Boy is.
Oh,
Exactly, my
yeah.
Lord Bishop.
The fastest horse is from a lesser gate.
And the people.
It is unfortunate about the people, but it is God's will.
It has fallen to us to defend Jerusalem, and we have made our preparations as well as they can be made. None of us
Gee.
took this city from Muslims. No Muslim of the great army now coming against us was born. When this city was lost, we fight against those who were not alive to be offended. What is Jerusalem?
She feels so ashamed.
Your holy places lie over the Jewish temple that the Romans pulled down. The Muslim places of worship lie over yours. Which is more holy? The wall, the mosque, the sepulchre. Who has claim? No one has claim. All have claim.
Interesting.
That is blasphemy.
Be quiet.
We defend this city.
This is why you got into the mess.
Not
Shut
to
up.
protect these stones.
This is still today.
But the people living within these walls.
In 1,000 years, we've learned nothing.
Right. That was a hell of a speech.
Yeah.
How we
Play doesn't talk like saves it for the good speeches.
Without knights. We have no knights.
Truly. What is your condition?
I'm servant to the patriarch.
He's one of my servants.
Is he? You were born a servant. Kneel.
You are now knighted.
Every man at arms, or capable of bearing them, kneel on your knees!
Yeah, I feel pumped right now.
Be without fear.
Badass.
In the face of your enemies.
Oh, that Neeson speech.
Be brave and upright that God may love. Speak the truth, even if it leads to your death. Safeguard the helpless. That is your oath.
Gee.
And that is so you remember it. Rise
So you
a
remember
knight.
it.
Rise a knight.
Who do you think you are? Will you alter the world?
Doesn't making a man a knight make him a better fighter?
Yes.
Perfect. Dude, it's time for you too. I'm anxious, like you said earlier. Are we gonna see Sniveling Boy again?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to. The king said he didn't kill a king, but
maybe he's
what
still
happens
with
to him?
them, like imprisoned or something. But even though they're not gonna take his life.
My
lord? No.
So you know, Sniveling Boy would have said, "Yeah, shoot at him there."
When will it begin?
Soon.
It already has.
Oh. Man. Man.
The stunt work with the pyrotechnics.
So much great firework.
We've got defenses too.
Why did they not fire back?
They wait.
Maybe so that they come closer? I don't know. Dude, I'm obsessed with this score.
It's beautiful.
Like, you can just see on her face, what have I done?
But I don't feel like she did anything wrong. Like like
there was nothing she could do, but again, she feels like because she gave the kingdom to her husband, but again,
he gave the kingdom to her husband.
I agree with you, but she still feels like she could have still said no to her husband.
Then she'd be killed, and then he'd still be king.
Yeah. Scott truly understands scope.
He really does.
Okay, so they haven't fired back yet once.
Yeah.
Again, I know he's like a master strategist. Like
Saladin will show no mercy.
We must hold out, force him to offer terms.
I wonder if Jeremy Irons is coming back with some kind of an army. I don't know.
Interesting idea. Yeah, he did leave, and now we're like completely at a total loss. Like, what do we do next? So few directors that could handle this much scope and this much building, like the energy in these films.
Agreed. Say like off the top of my head, like Cameron, Denis Villeneuve, Christopher Nolan, guys of Spielberg, guys of that nature. But yeah, I agree with you.
And there's something about Ridley Scott, like even amongst those names, what he does with Sword and Sandal films is exceptional.
Mercy. No, I cannot.
Oh, after his sister?
Yeah.
That's why we were like, don't do that. Oh, Guy?
In the back of an ass.
I'm cool with this.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Parade him around like that. Correct.
Wow.
Man.
Dude, I get it. After his sister, I can't say I'm mad at him.
I cannot imagine what a day on this set would cost with this many extras, the incredible production design, the wardrobe, everything.
Can you imagine how long it takes for everyone to go through the wardrobes
Yeah.
too?
How many costume designers there had to be?
Like, I feel like that would take hours to do.
Mapping out the terrain, like that's what sets them apart.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, like, wait for them to get closer.
Yeah, well, and the different markers.
300! 100! Fire! 150!
Different teams, precision.
Oh. This is giving me Battle of Helm's Deep vibes.
Yeah, the intensity is bananas.
Which is my all-time favorite battle ever put on screen. Good. Jeez. Like both ways.
Yeah.
Oh, you tell these guys are ready for battle.
Man.
Oh, dude, the stunt work.
Yeah, incredible. Man, to be living in this era and this type of life. Smart.
And he's a blacksmith, so he would know like all about breaching and like the inner workings of things. So, stay on the wonder, please, please.
Beautiful.
Dude, I'm loving this film so much.
Legolas will always be up there, and he's so
Obviously,
good in Pirates. But this
yeah.
as a singular.
Yeah, he's iconic as Legolas, but this as a singular, like you said, this is. I just did not know he had this kind of range and depth to him. Is the music I listen to most from this soundtrack.
Oh, that was a great shot. Feeling like her brother. The distortion of the mirror turning into that.
Great observation. Oh!
Days of this.
You know, I'm curious. Do they have water right now? Because they've come to them, right?
They'd have as much as they could, I imagine. What does he see?
Yow! Ah.
Won't let him claim it. There it is. I see. Man.
Awesome cinematography. Woo! And it's gonna hit a bunch of guys down there.
Yep. So tactical.
He's a blacksmith.
So smart.
And I meant that with respect because he knows all about the inner workings of things. Very detail-oriented blacksmiths.
Yeah. Crafty.
Respect. I like that look.
Oof.
Ew, jeez. Hope that's not an infection.
Oh, there's no way it wouldn't be. That sword in these times.
Right, that's a good point. That is a lot of buried. Again, I love the parallels between him and Orlando Bloom. Like a single decision can
that's a really
affect
good.
so many.
It's an excellent point.
When a body is burnt, cannot be resurrected till Judgment Day.
If we do not burn these bodies, we will all be dead of disease in 3 days. God will understand, my lord.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, then he is not God, and we need not worry.
Yeah, I agree.
That same logic could apply to you doing the choices you should have made a week ago. A little bit of, I don't know. I struggle with that. If he's doing all this for his wife in hell, but he doesn't believe.
Where the Christopher Gate used to be has been weakened. This will be our door into Jerusalem. This is where we will make our stand. We must prepare.
He is such a noble king. Almost looks like he's giving him a facial expression of this is like a mistake.
Yeah. After the respect and the realizations.
That is some strong wall.
Wow.
Oh, the kid that he knighted.
Yeah, good call.
If you throw down your arms, your families will die. We can break this army here. So I say let them come. Let them come.
He looks like a badass.
Woo. Practical set design, some miniatures. Beautiful.
They're just facing it head on. That's brave.
That bottleneck, oof. I still think they have the sheer numbers, though.
Almost feels like if you're in there, you like can't move.
I just until you die or get through, yeah, I'll just pressure and bludgeoning, stabbing. Like this, ugh. It's that one bottleneck in 2 armies for days.
Nice transition.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Go from live bodies to unalive bodies. Hey, still got crazy amounts of numbers. White flag.
Wow.
They will ask for terms.
What are the? Yeah, what are the
Convert
terms
to
now?
Islam. Repent later.
Yeah, all the wrong things about religion.
Yeah.
Guess it's good to keep him around so you know not what not to do or what not to listen to.
Will you yield the city?
Never. Before I lose it, I will burn it to the ground.
You will destroy it? Your city is full of women and children. If my army will die, so will your city.
You offer terms, I ask none.
I will give every soul safe conduct to Christian lands. No one will be harmed.
Then under these terms, I surrender Jerusalem.
Wow.
And peace be with you.
That was unexpected.
At a man's word, that is...
What is Jerusalem worth?
Everything.
Jerusalem isn't a place, Coy. It's a people.
I have surrendered Jerusalem. All will be safely escorted to the sea. If this is the kingdom of heaven, let God do with it as he wills.
Is he really gonna let them go safely?
What should I do? I'm still the Queen of Ak.
Decide not to be a queen, and I will come to you.
Is that the guy who he saves his life? Yep.
Yeah.
This horse.
Oh!
It is not a very good one. I will not keep it. Thank you.
I love that they still have
That's
such
a
mutual
beautiful
respect
moment.
for them.
And if God does not love you, how could you have done all the things that you have done?
Dude, to be on opposing sides of war and still have such mutual respect for each other.
That's a really beautiful moment.
Is he gonna let her be on the horse? Or just walk with her?
A queen never walks.
She doesn't feel like a queen or worthy of one right now.
And yet you are walking.
Nice tender moment. He still has his lands, right? Or is that taken
That was in
to...
Jerusalem, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now he has his old lands.
Oh, his old from the very, very beginning. Because that's not part of Jerusalem. And he felt he wasn't worthy of being at this place any longer. Or wanted even here as well. And maybe it was too painful for him.
At the time, yeah.
He says so much without saying anything. It's just...
Yeah, he's very expressive.
Jeremy Irons?
We crusade to recover the kingdom of Jerusalem.
You go to where the men speak Italian, and then continue until they speak something else.
Isn't that what his dad said earlier to him?
Yep.
We come by this road to find Balian, who was defender of Jerusalem.
I am the blacksmith.
And I am the King of England.
Whoa.
I am the blacksmith.
Damn. King of England. Just heard of him. Pretty legendary.
Down with the Crusades, though. Not be a part of that madness.
I'll have to look up later, but if Harry Gregson Williams was not nominated for Best Composer, I'd be shocked. Oh, his wife's grave?
Yeah, still honoring them.
Wow. That's gonna bring up some painful memories. Richard the line or went on to them.
Oh, William Monahan wrote this. Citizens of Reject Nation, we just experienced, we didn't watch, we witnessed, we lived through the Kingdom of Heaven theatrical cut, which was, what an experience. I'm having a really weird moment where I've heard only legend of the director's cut. And as we said in the intro, I love that we've only seen the Abyss theatrical cut. And now likewise, I'm so glad I saw this one first because I have something really epic to look forward to and maybe even here reacting if you guys want. But like that was so epic and that's the like shorter one.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. By the way, Prepper, thank you so much for editing down this video. If you are able to watch this, it's because of Prepper. And also give us 5 stars if you are listening on Apple or Spotify. I completely agree with you. Look, everyone that I know that's close in my personal life who adores this movie says, you need to watch the director's cut, forget the theatrical cut. Fair enough, but obviously I don't know. Well, I can't say fair enough because I haven't seen the director's cut. I really enjoyed the theatrical cut, but I really do want to watch, and this also applies for The Abyss as well.
Yeah.
I want to watch the director's cut for both these films, so I'm hoping we get the opportunity to come back for both these films to do this. But I like that we now have context to these things and we have these scenes, and now we can see the contrast and the differences.
Mm-hmm.
I think, again, that made me, and I'm sure I still would have loved, again, I said this on the intro, I'm sure I would have loved the Daredevil director's cut no matter what. But seeing what they did, it's like it also shows you like that a lot of these production companies, they really they slaughter their own films, so to speak.
This didn't feel slaughtered, which is what I'm enjoying. Is because if I watched the other one first and then watch this, I'd be like, oh, that was missing. Instead, I was like, we watched this with full experience. To me, this felt like a complete film. It didn't feel butchered.
I agree with that. The only thing I would say to that, and again, I don't know anything other than this film coming into it, other than Orlando Bloom and Ridley Scott and Harry Gregson Williams, because I listened to the score so much before because of Pandora, but I did feel the ending was a little abrupt. I thought, and I understood it, but I thought that we were going to go back and we were going to take over Jerusalem in terms of Orlando Bloom, but also I did kind of like the ending there too. Having said all that, it did not really feel as butchered either. So I'm curious because so many people have always told me, director's cut, forget the theatrical. So again, I really do want to see what the contrast and the differences are. I'm really curious.
But enough talk about the cuts because I do, this movie uniquely has that hanging over it as far as the differences and stuff. But talking about the movie itself, as of this moment, what's on my screen, it says William Monahan. Did not know this was the great William Monahan. Dude. One of those writers that is just such a force of nature. It totally makes sense. I kept calling out how good the writing was. So many lines had so much resonance. So many moments had so much more to say. But also, in addition to the writing being about great dialogue, Orlando Bloom
favorite performance
acting
ever.
The silence, like all of the writing that wasn't dialogue writing, the writing that was the arcs and the journey and all the storytelling stuff that you need actors of this caliber to convey. I also want to give that writing its love. I feel like a lot of people don't, you have to write silent films. Like a lot of people don't give flowers to the narrative and the arcs and those structured things. So what William Monahan did here, I'm obviously a huge Departed guy, but very, very incredible. Do we think it was Ed Norton? Because I think it was. We haven't checked yet.
I'm going to just go with you. I'm not, a lot of times I hear someone, sometimes I'm good at picking it, sometimes I'm really bad.
It's the softness.
There was times I'm like, it does sound like Norton. I'll just go with yes. I will agree with it.
We're going to find out.
Oh, are we going to just look now?
I want to know, man. It's driving me nuts. Yeah. Produced by Ridley Scott.
I was going to say when we get to the IMDb,
no,
but yeah,
no,
I gotta find out. We need to know now. We're going to find out in real time. It's like we're sitting in the theater. This is a theatrical cut. I want to know theatrically. We will see a mid-credits and a post-credits along the way.
Yeah. When, So the King of England comes to recruit them into his Avengers.
Yes.
This, by the way, also was so masterfully edited. The war scenes, the tension, what they were able to do with the production design, but that doesn't work unless the editing keeps it taut. Like, this scope was insanely loved. Costume designer also a lot of love for everything feeling so lived in.
Something is going on in the background, the foreground with the extras.
Yeah.
Every scene just
Deborah
feels...
Zane casting, I recognize that name. Excellent work. Okay.
Orlando.
Orlando Bloom, confirmed. I'm so excited to find out this way. Eva Green, man,
Got to imagine Liam Neeson is there.
He was only in at the beginning. Jeremy Irons. Yeah, he had like 15 minutes of screen time.
I thought Jeremy Irons was coming back. Maybe that. I got to imagine Jeremy Irons in the director's cut.
I don't know if in real life he would. I felt like he said bye, man. He was like, I'm out. I gave Jerusalem my life. And now I'm good. David Thewlis was such a scene stealer, as he always is. Brendan Gleeson, one of my favorite actors in the game. Martin Sokus, I definitely know, was one of those faces.
Michael
What
Sheen.
a snivelly little Michael Sheen performance.
5 minutes into the film.
Liam Neeson gets the and. That's so the 15 minutes of screen time, and he gets the pedigreed and. Was it him? I feel like he would have been in the first names. Was that just wrong? Kevin McKidd was the guy that looked really familiar. It might not have been him. Nick Collage pre Game of Thrones.
Oh, that was the
guy that was coming to recruit him.
Yeah.
That wasn't Ed. All right, I was wrong. It sounded so much like him in like certain softnesses.
We'll see when the cast comes up.
Oh yeah, it's true.
But let's just we'll lower it as we watch it
as
come
we
up.
discuss. I was hoping, man.
I do agree with you though. This again, I really enjoyed Orlando Bloom as Legolas, iconic in that role. I did like him in the first Pirates of the Caribbean. Again, was the point to dislike him in Troy, which came out a year before this. I really dislike him in that film.
He did Wolfgang and Ridley back to back in Sword and Sandal picks.
Oh, really?
Well, no, Troy.
Oh, yeah.
That's a crazy.
Yeah. I thought.
Sorry, not a character. Wolfgang Peters.
Wolfgang Peters. I'm so sorry. I thought you were talking about another Ridley film.
No,
but yes, you are correct.
Commendable.
Yeah, for sure.
Good cardio.
He's like, I just want to stick in this type of world for the next
I
couple
want
of
scope.
years. Exactly, but I really just did not know Orlando, and I knew he's a good actor, but to go to this level of depth and range, it really showed me how nuanced he can be in his performances. And again, there were so many times, like even the first 5-7 minutes of his screen time, you don't hear him say a word. He's emoting, he's expressing himself. But I knew what he was thinking at the same time, and that's a really tough thing for an actor to be able to do. And I thought it was just a beautiful way to just show his just who he is as a character and just connect with him. I was immediately hooked to his character, like instantaneously in the first 10 seconds of seeing him. I knew right away he's a hardened individual. Something tragic has probably befuddled him in his life, and like once we got that dialogue explaining that, I was like, okay, yeah. But Orlando's performance in the first 30 seconds just told me all that without even needing a snippet of dialogue to tell me that. And then Greg always talks about the why and the motivation for a character. And I actually thought like I was again connected to his why, and his whole thing was again his son had I forgot if they said why what happened to his son.
It's just in this era, babies died.
Yeah, okay. But then obviously as a result of I would assume depression, his wife took her own life, understandably so in that type of situation, but God does not forgive apparently in that situation. Okay. And now, he finds it in his heart that, okay, now I have to go on this redemption type of quest so that my wife will be, okay in heaven. And that one day when I, go to heaven, I will see her. And I thought that was, there's something beautiful and cathartic about that for him as a character and us as the audience just watching him go through this journey.
Yeah.
I thought there's something beautiful in that. And again, I really, really, again, I know we talked about this a few times, you and I, that the decision not to take the kingdom when he had the chance of Jerusalem, I get it. It would have been a little evil, if you will, even though this man had committed so many atrocities, because he's a man of conviction. He's a very noble human being. He's a man of peace. He only takes life when his life is in balance, or lives of innocent individuals are.
But so many innocents were killed by that decision.
So many,
that's why I was like,
because of this, like innocence will be.
Yeah,
that's why. Again, I won't talk about after. I will only say one more thing about the director's cut. Again, I'm curious if there's any changes because I did struggle with that a little bit too.
Yeah,
it's like innocence will be taken, but again, you are on this redemptive quest. So I guess that kind of spits in the face of that, and you're afraid now your wife. But also too, you said that line earlier too, in terms of are you in hell if you are with me in my heart? So can you throw a little ladder? I mean, is there a little gray area?
I'm wondering
here
if like how much of this is based on a true story, and it's
Right.
something that we don't have the context for about the real person. I don't know how much of this is fiction versus nonfiction. I know that Jerusalem and that part of the world is always in turmoil to this day. So I think that also kind of informed my experience of Judgment of Him, because it felt like this was a time of peace, reluctant peace, but peace because of this. And now we are still 10 generations later. People are dying still because this one guy was like, I've got this little thing, this little clause, this little morality clause. And so like, I wish that felt a little more lived in, and I wish that felt a little more justifiable, because he's a smart enough person to know the hundreds of thousands of innocents, even in his time. And I know the million, and I said millions during the film because I know in my head, millions of lives have been cost by that decision. So it was hard for me to, and then the guilt, obviously, that she felt, Eva Green's character, I feel like he should have felt more guilt. Like, I feel like he was just like, I have been somber and stoic and will continue to be. Like, the guilt that was apparent to her, he made the decision that led to all that. So that was my struggle. But that also is, I'm not saying that makes the movie lesser. It makes it interesting that I'm having such a hard time. Like, I gave this, I think for me, this is like a 4 out of 5 star film, which is like, my average rating is like 3.5 to 4. 4 is on the higher side. This was so full of scope, so full of wonder, so full of awe, but I couldn't get through that choice, and I love that I'm torn up by it. Like, I love, he finally got to the cast, because this movie is so epic. There's all of this.
It would be King, right?
I imagine, yeah. Let's see. Is it in order of appearance, maybe? Because it looks like King Baldwin.
Edward Norton!
Yes!
You
I'm proud
called
as
it.
fuck.
You
And he
called
wasn't
it.
even in the opening credits. I was
Yeah.
like, it must have been one of those guys I didn't know. Edward Norton. I'm proud of that, because that was a very...
But after you said that, too, and I was listening very close, and I turned,
softness.
but remember when I turned to you, I
Yeah.
said, it does sound like Ed Norton.
It did.
But I will give you credit, because right when... The
Crow
Crow
Descends.
Descends by Graham Revel. Did I call that?
Nicely done.
Did I call
Nicely
that?
done.
Do I know my music scores?
Flowers for music, flowers for actor recognition.
That's why we're the Geek Jacks.
Yeah.
We hear sounds and
we go,
know.
I know that sound.
I'm telling you, when I heard that score, I'm like, I've listened to the Graham Revel, the Crow score 10,000 times. I know that score.
It's impressive.
Yeah, that's why I go off my references tangents, guys. It's not just to sound like a know-it-all. It's because
it's where your brain
I know
goes.
it all. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I do agree with you. I would have liked to see a little more struggle in that decision, because
Again, it was precedent for why he would make it so clean. Like, I liked that they set up the what's a god to a king layup of, like, if a king tells you to move and you don't, that is on you and your soul. I love that that was pre-established. But in the moment, that delivery of the line felt like it was serving, we need this to have been a payoff for that earlier moment. But I needed the weight of after he made the decision or right before making the decision to feel like he recognized the scope of, he's a smart enough man to know what that meant.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And again, I feel like to your... Oh, sorry.
Play it again.
Yeah, let's watch the whole movie again. Yeah, and I feel like to your point too, I still like seeing the shame of guilt from Eva Green. Yeah, and again... I don't know what she could have done.
Felt that fault. And I get that.
But I don't know what she could have done, because she tried to give it to Orlando Bloom's character. Why do I still not know his name, by the way?
Balin.
Is that just, that's his name? Okay. I still don't understand, because if she tried to give it to Balin and he rejected it, and then what is she to do at that point? Because she has no
There's
choice.
nothing she could have done.
There has to be a king, right?
Right.
So if she doesn't give it to Guy,
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I thought her acting was so powerful in there, because I felt for her, even though she again, from my interpretation, and I think it's the obvious one, she feels guilty for everything that's happening. But I kind of wanted to see a little more struggle on Balin, rather, to see that. But also, too, I wanted a more justifiable reason besides the, hey, I've got this morality clause, as you said, I've got my Batman, I don't
Right.
kill rule, type of thing, unless I'm Michael Keaton or Ben Affleck. I wanted to see more of that on, like, this has got to be more justifiable, because he's a smart enough man to know what the consequences and the ramifications are going to be if I turn down being the king here. Like, there was a reason you were chosen, and there was a reason why they didn't want Guy to be, because Jeremy Irons, Eva Green, and Edward Norton knew, if we allow Guy and the Templars to be, we're finished. We're done. There's going to be a lot of slaughter as a result.
But also, this is based on truth. So I'm curious, you can't change history. Like you can't spoilers for a movie from 5 years ago. You can't Once Upon a Time in Hollywood this. Okay. You don't know?
I haven't seen. I'm gonna react to it
Okay,
one day.
great. Then I will end it there. But you can't do that. So I think there's a trickiness with doing something that's based on a true story without giving us a little bit more of the why. And to speak to Greg's point, like the why, I get that this is the narrative. I just wish I'd felt the justification for his intelligence.
Yeah.
Not having that. And maybe it's because of the hell thing, but like you said, she's not in hell, she's in his heart. So I kept trying to find rationales. That said, that's my only flaw is just wanting, because like I loved the Mad King, Brendan Gleeson, like wanting war, and like the fact that he's so evil, but they leaned into it. I loved Snivelly Boy having his reasons and his bigotry leading to like the decisions made. I love the scope of like the movie opens with some fairly epic-ish, and then it only accelerates to the point where by the end, like I'm physically tired, and I really enjoyed the fact that I feel like I've like seen the war. Like we went out and like lived this thing. All of that is a testament to William Monahan and Ridley Scott, who like what a duo together. The fact that that's my only flaw in something of this scale and scope is commendable. Like usually in something of like, this scope, a villain is too mustache twirly or not twirly enough. You've got, in this case, we've got real life consequences. To this day, Muslim culture and Christianity and the things at odds in 2025. I
learned nothing
as a not religious person. I struggle with understanding even those concepts, and this movie actually did a really amazing job giving my perspective its flowers and also giving credence to the people that do believe in those things. I really enjoyed the holiness versus religion concept. This film is obviously very aware of religion's flaws, but it never demonized the Christians, in my opinion, or the Muslims, in my opinion. It made it very clear that these two worldviews are this is your God and God is what is bringing you. And I personally love that the last sentence about God was from the perspective of a Muslim to a ex-Christian. The God, was with you or you wouldn't still be here. How do you not see that? And he's like, I just don't believe in that anymore. And they're both like, peace. Like, I like that because I think that is the only hope we have as society and culture is to go like, hey, you believe that ish, you believe that ish. I'm over here with my stuff. As long as it doesn't harm the other, tight. And like, I get fighting over land. I get fighting over money. I think it's all dumb. But at the end of the day, at least those things to me, my brain goes, okay, land is to me non-fictional. To me, money is non-fictional. When fighting over something that to me doesn't make any sense, I love that the film can justify that for all parties and not demonize any of them.
True. No, very good points. I also thought it was interesting as well how that one character, I assume he was a Templar or whoever he was in Jerusalem, very snivelly type of character as well. He really didn't learn the errors of his ways and what led to this entire mess. He kept on, the guy who was like, this is blasphemy, we'll never be this. And then he always saw like the negative side and everything in terms of from, the Muslims there. And it's incredible. Like, dude, look at at the situation right now and look at everything that's happening. And you still have this chaotic belief in everything that, you are holier and greater than everything else around you. And it's incredible when, again, how some people just can't be humbled to see the errors of their ways.
Right. Or see the forest for the trees of like you are having the same beliefs as them, that they are wrong.
Yeah. And again, I really, really did like, and I had a feeling, and maybe it was obvious or not, I don't know, but I really like that friendship that is struck and the parallels between Balin and the other guy that he let live. And then again, he would, the line that said, you will see the enemies if whatever the line was, is a great line of dialogue by Monahan. But I really like that friendship that even though we were on opposing sides of this war, at the end of the day, there's a mutual respect here.
Right.
And there's some great moments there between those, but also too, I love the parallels that a single have by the both of them led to some dire consequences. Obviously you got Balin's character having the choice to take over the kingdom, probably going to have a lot more peace. And then you got the decision by the other guy who, again, great performance by that character. I really was connected with him as well. But his decision to let Balin live created a lot of mayhem and destruction for a lot of his people as well. So again, that single decision, even though they're both men of conviction, they're both noble, they're both peaceful, they only defend themselves when prompted. Lots of consequences happen
Yeah.
from their actions. It's just, I love that parallel. It's just really, and it was a really unique friendship as well that I appreciated, and it's great. I loved it so much.
I also, I joked, not fully joking, but I love the casting of this where nobody felt like they were out of place. I wasn't around in the 1100s. But everyone felt like it fit the world, the tone. Like, obviously the acting was great, but also just everything felt really wonderfully authentic to the characters they were playing. And I think that's also a really essential part of if your production design is good and your costume design is good, everyone feeling of a certain way in the world. And I find that I don't feel that as often with this current era of casting. Sometimes I'm like, that guy's got a cell phone face. Like, that guy's opened an iPhone with his face. This, Orlando Bloom, notwithstanding just being so pretty, but there's a Crusader era-ness, and like him in a knight's outfit didn't feel out of place, and like everything felt so authentic, which obviously is the Hollywood version of authentic. I wasn't in the 1100s, but it felt so immersive, and I really love what Ridley Scott does to make a world feel like every single detail feels like they focused, they cared about it, they lived in it. So I was really impressed with the nuances of the writing and the directing, but also with everyone being at the height of their powers as far as production design. I love when movies build sets, and when movies edit, and when movies take every single thing to an 11, and this is one of those examples with the theatrical cut that I was like, everything feels so like this is movie making, like this is a film.
No, for sure. I mean,
See why dads love it.
Yeah, for sure. No, I also love the locations that they went to. Like, again, like you said, we were not around in the 1100s, but I really felt like we were in this time period just from where we shot, the scope of everything. All the extras. I think this is one of the biggest thing I talk about. I mean, you said they probably did multiplying in terms of you can't have that many people.
Yeah.
Fine, fair enough. But again, because you have so many people really there, and then if you do the multiplying thing, it still feels real. Whereas you CGI everyone, I get taken out of the illusion immediately, kind of going to The Hobbit, for instance, versus like Lord of the Rings, but it really had that epicness feel to it and that time period piece, and I just appreciate when films can do that. And also the battles too. Again, we're so emotionally invested in the characters. Now we got action drama, but too, it's so visceral. Every hit, you just really feel like, I don't imagine what it must have felt like in the theaters when people were watching this. So like, because absolutely epic. I'm hoping and knowing Christopher Nolan, it's gonna have that same type of feel when we see the Odyssey.
Yeah, I'll do the Odyssey with him.
Oh, I can't wait. IMAX. I'm seeing it every time. I'm probably gonna see it 3 or 4 times minimum. But every time,
IMAXs. I'm gonna hunt it down.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Really quick, should we do a little?
Let's do some trivia.
Yeah, but hold on. I want to do one thing before we get into trivia. I want to see what this got budget-wise, and also I want to see what it got box office, and see if you can get that. Kingdom of
I'll
Heaven.
get box office if you want to get trivia.
Well, no, you're the one guessing, so I got to do it for you.
I can't look then. Yes,
you cannot
good point.
Look.
Good point.
You cannot look. Kingdom of Heaven, budget, and then also Rotten Tomatoes. I will look up for us. All right, so what do you think the budget of the film was?
Okay, this was 20 years ago, 2005.
Yes.
We didn't make $250 million movies then, and also money was worth way more. So I'm going to say, not adjusted for inflation, $200 million.
130 to 135 mil. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do adjusted for inflation. I'm curious what that's today. What is 135 mil?
From 2005
2005.
Adjusted.
All right. Riveting math, guys. Is equivalent to 221 million today.
Okay. Yeah. So what did you say originally?
I said I bet it's about 200 million.
Okay.
So my math was, I wasn't as good at inflation math, but it felt like a $200 million movie.
Yeah. And then, so for box office worldwide, we're not doing domestic or international.
Worldwide. 480.
I wish. 218. All right, let's go to Rotten.
So this movie lost so much money with marketing.
Yeah. Let's go to Rotten Tomatoes. Let's go to critics first.
Critics?
This is the theatrical cut, not the director's.
81.
39. Yeah, that's shocking.
This got a 39%.
39. Audience.
71.
Woo!
Hey! Hey, 72.
You were right on that one.
Yeah.
You were right on that one.
This got ripped apart.
They ripped.
Wow. All right.
From what I was told from a couple people about the director's cut, if that would have been the cut that was originally chosen, it would have been nominated for Academy Awards.
Wow.
That's what I was told.
Guys, comment. You want us to watch that one? We're
No,
down.
seriously, we want to watch the director's cut, and I'm sure there's going to be littered comments. You should have watched the director's cut. This was a conscious choice. We wanted to do theatrical first so we can eventually get to the director's cut.
We can add, not subtract.
Yes, exactly. We want to do the director's cut. But you got to let us know. Sir Ridley Scott disowned the theatrical cut. He claims that the director's cut is the definitive version. There you go.
All right, there it is.
Edward Norton was briefly considered for the role of Guy, but upon reading the script, he lobbied for the role of King Baldwin because the king appears behind a mask. He requested not to be credited. However, his name was put back in the video releases of the film. That means when you see the theatrical. Imagine if we were seeing the theater. That was it. Wait, where's the King Baldwin? Like,
That's
you
so
never would
badass
have known.
to not want to be credited. To be such a G as an actor, like, I am masked and never revealed, and then not in the credits.
And then because when you see the face, the makeup is like, we can't tell.
That's
who that
so
is.
sick.
In real life, Balian of Ibelin, yeah, was a legitimate nobleman born in the kingdom of Jerusalem. Okay, so that part was true. Yeah, I'm not reading.
That's a lot.
Well, yeah, we'll be here for like 2 hours. I'll just do like two or three more. The flag. I won't go to the spoilers in case that reveals anything from the director's cut. So we'll avoid spoilers today. We'll do 2 more. The flag budget for the film was $250,000. In total, 1,200 flags, comprising 650 separate designs, were made in Spain, England, Morocco, and India.
That's incredible. I wonder what those flags are now. If there's like museums with. Well, this movie didn't do well, so maybe not.
Yeah. U.S. box office returns were disappointing. The film did better in Europe and was a huge success in the Arab world, particularly Egypt. Okay, let's do... After being cast in the role of Godfrey, Liam Neeson realized he knew nothing about the Crusades and began his research with The Complete Idiot's Guide to the Crusades by Paul L. Williams, a book Neeson calls extremely informative.
That's fantastic.
And then to what you said earlier, Orlando Bloom had just completed filming Troy in 2004 when he received the screenplay for Kingdom of Heaven and was initially reluctant to even read the script for another historical epic. Knowing it was being put together by Sir Ridley Scott convinced him to give it a shot.
Figured as much?
I don't blame him.
Oh, man. Well, I wish they had released the other cut, but I liked this one way more than 30%. I give this 4 out of 5.
Yeah, oh, definitely better than 29. But
That's
again,
insane.
I'm curious when we eventually get to the director's cut, and we will. Don't worry, guys. I'm curious to see what we're gonna think of the theatrical as well. It's gonna be fun. In the same with Abyss, I'm curious what we're gonna think because I'm going to rewatch both the night before we do the directors and the night for both the Abyss and this.
Oh wow!
I will watch the theatrical cut just so we can go. Oh, that.
I'm gonna go the other way. I'm not gonna watch these again until I watch the.
Oh, so you'll watch the director and then you'll watch the theatrical.
No,
afterwards?
no, I'm not. This will be the only time I see Kingdom of Heaven until we watch the.
Okay, we'll have a talk before.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't do that. Maybe.
But no,
that's
I think it'd be interesting to compare because you'll have recency and I'll have distance.
Okay, maybe that is the way to do it.
Comment below, you lovelies. That is going to do it for Kingdom of Heaven, a movie that deserves much more love, this version, and I cannot wait to know sometime in the future what the other version holds. Please let us know in the comments below what you thought of this experience. Please like this video, and please subscribe if you're not already. It's crazy if you're not. You're watching the end of the video. You're clearly invested. All right, we'll see you soon, guys. Bye.